Alright, hey, what's up guys? So we're just gonna do a short little 20-minute meditation right now. If you wanna follow along, get yourself in get into your meditation pose, whatever that may be. Just got my meditation pillow here, right? Table. I got some high vibrational frequencies going to 777 hertz. I got my Clearly Air essential oil, peppermint smell. Breathe that in. So it's getting nice out now, and with nice weather brings happiness, right? Better weather brings better mood. So I'm gonna try and focus on that today, because I've been having a pretty crappy week. Last week was really good, man. It's weird how I'm not sure if this is how I felt, before all the substances, I don't know. I just don't ever remember feeling like this deep gut feeling of anxiety or whatever it is, this uncomfortable feeling deep in my core for just days on end. Feeling like you're just getting chased by a bear or a lion, all day, every day, and the only time that it goes away, well, actually that's not even true anymore, because sometimes, you want to just sleep so you don't have to feel what you are when you're awake, but now that I'm sober and I'm getting deeper sleep now, I have dreams of all this stuff, like when I'm awake, the things that bother me and make me sick, I have dreams about it all night too, so it's like I can't ever get away from it, I can't when I sleep, and I can't when I'm awake. It's not all the time though. Just this week has just been a really hard week. Like I said, the week before was really good. I felt really good, and I was like high on life, Like it was amazing, and it felt really good, and it was really fun. And then this last week was just it's been really hard, And it's weird because it's getting nice out, and usually with nice weather elevates the mood a lot, and so I'm I find myself trying to force that to happen, because I know how my brain or my body knows that I can force that, right? If I don't feel good, I know that there's drugs out there that I can take that will make me feel good temporarily, right? And so that's kind of the challenge with substances. Once you taste the rainbow, it's there, So when you don't feel good, your nervous system or whatever it is sometimes is telling me that I can go and grab that thing just to make me feel good, when and it's been 7 months of sobriety, so I'm hoping that I've been using substance since, for over 20 years, in middle school was when I first started using stuff, so it's been a long time, and so it's going to take some time, I think, to get might take years, It's been 7 months only, but there's been times where I've been sober and I've had a lot of fun doing stuff, but as I'm older, I'm not as active, and that's one thing that I use as a substance is activity, doing stuff, and so when I'm not as active, I don't feel like myself, and so today's meditation is I'm going to try and focus on, I'm going to look back at a time when I was, when I was more sober. So this is the longest I've been sober, I've been sober for a little bit in the past, 20 years, for a month or two here and there maybe, but this is the longest I've been sober since I've ever picked up a substance, and that was a long time ago. So, but I've never had this hard time recovering or staying sober from a substance, I've never struggled like this, where having withdrawals and Like that's what I'm classifying it as. Like I'm still like having withdrawals from this stuff, you know? Like my mind is still like, where's this stuff at? You know, like why don't you feel good right now? You're not, you know, you're supposed to like you're supposed to feel good, you know, like go grab that thing. And so I'm trying to recreate my endorphins, you know, my serotonin. I'm trying to get all my happy hormones going back again, you know, my dopamine, all that stuff naturally, you know. Nice weather brings it on, you know, exercise, just, you know, those things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my timer here. I got a client coming in a little bit, so I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes. And I'm going to listen to the noise here. We got the frequency going, and I'm going to focus on just a feeling that I can latch onto or that I can remember from a long time ago of summer, you know, or like of nice weather, you know, like how that make me feel good, you know. And it's interesting too, as I'm, you know, struggling with substance, and you know, there's an alcohol store right across the street, and I see people like this. I don't know if you can see, but there's this guy walking in this white shirt right over there. He's a homeless guy. But I've been up here all morning, and I've seen a couple other ones, but he's been out there for a while. He's asking people for money outside of the liquor store, and then the other day, on the other side of the building, the other liquor store, I saw this guy just passed out in the grass. He was just laying there, and I thought he was dead. I was gonna stop and like go and help him, but he moved his arm, and you know, because he wasn't moving, so I thought I was gonna go out and see if he was all right, and I just realized that he was just passed out drunk or fell over or something, you know. And it's a really hard place to be at, you know. Like sometimes, like they don't want to be there. They don't want to be like that. It's no way to live your life. Like he doesn't want that, you know. But for some reason, he's stuck there, you know. What is God's plan with this man, you know? Like, is he trying to show me something? Is he trying to teach me something? Teach me to have more empathy? Teaching you, all these people driving by, people just drive by this man who, obviously we don't want to give him money to feed his substance and his alcoholism, but you know, it's hard sometimes, you know, because you want to help him, you know, but I'm learning about that in AA right now, helping people who are like that, you know. And one thing we talked about on Wednesday was interventions, you know, and how interventions can actually make things a million times worse, which is crazy. And I had an intervention, right? My whole family had an intervention on me one time, and they thought that the Navy was I'm thankful for the Navy and thankful for it all, but the more I look back at it, it's like joining the Navy just pushed me further and further into my substance problem, you know. And what got me sober, what got me to AA was actually hitting rock bottom, being on my deathbed, you know, like that's what brought me there. And that's where a lot of people, it's like sometimes like you can't force them, you know, like you have to let them figure it out on their own. And sometimes they'll die before that happens, you know, and sometimes when you try and force them to get better, it will just make things worse, you know. So it's a really tricky place to be at, you know, and you gotta want the help, for one, you know. So that's just kind of how I see it, is just God is just, you know, he's got a bottle right there on the garbage can. See, he's got his booze, he's just chilling there, you know. But there's no way to live your life, you know, and he doesn't want that, but he's struggling, and you know. So I just try and look at it as like, what is God trying to teach me right now? What is he trying to show me, you know? I don't know, that's just how I see it. And I see homeless people and people that need help walking up and down these streets all the time. And I don't know if there's anyone else. I mean, there's 4 or 5 other people up here and upstairs above the gym. I don't know if they are seeing these people out here who need help like I do, you know? Like, why am I the one who sees them? That's my world, where I see people who struggle and need help because I've been there. You know, people drive by these guys and these women all the time and don't even see them, you know? I can see it. So that's my rant for the day, but yeah, so here we go. I got a client supposed to be here about 25 minutes, so I'm gonna take the next 20 minutes and just sit here. Timer is set. I'm gonna do some breathing. All right, there we go. So if you guys sat through that meditation with me, thank you, and I hope you have a great day.